Gravy, baby.
What's up, my little gravy babies?
Little biscuit bitches, ladles,
Butts,
gravy enthusiasts,
people who enjoy wet food.
or dry food with wet on it.
That's what I like. That's what I'm into.
You like the dry food with a wet?
Almost all my favorite foods is a dry bread with a wet sauce on it.
One of my favorite pastimes from a child is my mom makes a rad vinaigrette. I now have stolen it from her. But anytime you make a rad vinaigrette, you have a baguette and you do the little dip at the end. Once you eat your salad, you earn that
Too
little
many
dip.
words accidentally rhymed and it fucked with my head real bad.
I started writing a
Rad
country
vinaigrette with the baguette.
song.
Also, rad vinaigrette feels like an oxymoron, but continue.
No, it was. It was so rad. It was,
Okay.
crunchy French bread loaf, a little Italian maybe, just crusty on the outside, super soft, lovely on the inside. Whoa, are you drunk right now? You
When
just
was
got
the
so
last time
fucked
you
up.
had a fucking Dr. Pepper?
It has been years.
Holy shit. Would you like a drink of this?
I don't know. Maybe I'm scared now. Look at what it did to
Do
your
you drink
face.
a lot of soda?
No.
I don't either.
I'm off it.
Me too. I got like a combo wings for the national championship game, and that
Uh-huh.
just came with it. I had to pick one. I was like, oh, I haven't had a Dr. Pepper in years other than maybe a Dr. Pepper Zero.
Isn't Dr. Pepper, they put everything all in one bucket and swirled it and then
I think it's
so
23 ingredients. They're pretty proud of it.
Mm.
Fuck Baskin Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dip a baguette in that.
No. Ew. I'm sticking with my vinaigrette. I think I love that. I love there's like a pocket in the back of your mouth whenever something hits back there. It's
Yeah.
usually like a sour, sweet and sour combo.
Salt and vinegar does it too.
Oh yeah, so good. Oh, right in the back. Oh yeah, I love salt and vinegar. Big
Yeah.
fan.
You just
Mhm.
eat it till the roof of your mouth
I just
falls
douche from the
apart.
top. I'm like, it'll get down there eventually.
You douche from the top?
Yeah,
What?
because you see vinegar, whatever. People used to squirt vinegar up their cooch to clean it. What?
For real?
What do you think douching is, man?
I know
They
what it is,
squirt
but I
shit
can't
up-
believe they squirted vinegar in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, how bad does your
It's like
pussy
a-
smell if you smell vinegar and you're like, put that in there?
I don't think it's for the smell. I think it's for the pH or something. Like it's supposed to
Oh,
regulate.
there was science behind it. I thought there was almost no science behind douching. I thought it's just
No,
bad for you.
probably not. There
It's just bad
probably
for you.
wasn't. They were probably squirting a bunch of different kinds of shit up there, and they were finally like,
My grandma would just leave hers out on the back of
Oh.
her toilet, just be a fucking douche bottle there. I'm certain, I don't know this, but I'm certain I grabbed it when I was 6 at some point.
"Of
you know?
course you did.
it's like,
you would
"What's
grab
that?"
anything."
It also looks like a baby bottle with an extender on it.
Oh no!
I don't think I mouthed it. Let's not go there. I don't think I did. I didn't. Don't say I did. Nobody say I did that. You better not tell people I did that.
It's so funny to be. Don't
Don't
say
say
that.
it.
Don't tell
You better
anybody.
not say
I
that.
said that.
Don't say I did that. I didn't do it.
Hey, buddy, I missed you.
I missed you. Real quick. but,
Okay.
like they smelled Massengo. It like smelled good. It was like called like Summer's Wave or some shit.
What? Summer's Eve.
So I thought like the whole point was scent. Like I thought that was the pitch of the douche companies.
My new pastime is watching men learn about women, well into their 30s.
The reason I don't know about this is because it went away. And what I know is that it should have gone away.
No, for sure,
because
there
it's
was.
bad for you.
Yeah, it's really
But
bad.
what I'm saying is I remember back then that the pitch,
Yeah.
Carmen,
Yes.
I know about women, was like freshen up down there.
Yeah.
So that's why vinegar shocked me. Because it's
Yeah.
like, what's that going to freshen up? But if you brought up the pH, it makes me think they knew about pH the whole time, and they were still trying to get y'all to douche your pusses.
Yeah, well, I think it was just like, I mean, ever since like the 50s. I mean, this goes back to what we were talking about. I mean, feeling bad for dudes right now is like, you should never put anything up your twat.
Yeah.
Most of the scent and all that stuff comes from your ass.
Yeah.
Any of that,
Clean
like
your ass,
yeah,
ladies.
clean your ass, or I don't know if you don't clean.
Get with
the
a real man.
You know,
If there's any complaints, get with a fucking man, not a boy.
Well, that's why there's so many videos of like women being like, "Oh, I didn't shower," and then the boys being like, "Fuck it, I don't give a shit. Come after the gym."
Yeah.
Like how many of those? But I think it's not you. It's not usually for men. It's for yourself. I guess. I don't
'Cause
know.
You smell yourself and you don't like it.
I guess. I mean, I'm chill with me, but
Yeah,
I,
mean,
didn't
I've
put a bunch
definitely
of shit up my twat, so I don't
been
have
a-
like a weird.
Right.
I don't have to overcorrect and then revert. Yeah.
I've
Me
been
and my
around
pussy are
enough
fine.
to
Like,
smell
we're
a puss
chill.
that's not pleasant,
Mm.
but something's going on.
Yeah.
And I don't think douche is going to fix it.
No. No, it's usually diet, blah, blah, blah. It's, it's whatever. It's the same thing. The whole theory of your cum tasting like pineapple or whatever.
That's not what real, is it? Some guy was like drinking pineapple juice one day. He was like, hey, babe, that's what I figured out. I wonder if she called him on it. Like,
I
hey,
doubt
how do you know that?
Yeah.
How'd you figure it out?
Well,
Oh, the last
I
girl
was
told
working
me.
on my torque. I was trying to get up on the ceiling and accidentally squirted my own face.
I've tasted my own cum.
I feel like
I
every
did
boy
not put
has.
my grandma's douche in my mouth. Don't tell anybody I did that. I feel like you can either tell people, you can't do both. You can't tell people I put my grandma's douche in my mouth and then say I don't know about women's stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like you knew something.
Yeah.
You learned a thing.
I learned some stuff.
I don't know what it was, but yeah, I think before.
So started because you said I'm douching from the top. Why was that the image you wanted to paint? The
kind of like how you did in your
Carmen
grandmother's
Morales.
bathroom.
I just put on a fucking beret.
What a way to start. I'm so sorry.
Douche
It's
from the
just-
top, a poem by Carmen Morales.
That's just making a joke about salt vinegar chips.
I walk into the bathroom.
Don't make
Summer's
it a slam
Eve.
poem.
Well, that's the only one I'm talented enough to pull off.
Bag, dark, stormy.
Yeah, you can't do a real poem off the top of your head because that requires actual talent. Oh, we're having too much fun. Hey,
Already.
let me give you your Christmas present.
Oh shit. Oh my
Those are
god.
legal shiitake mushrooms.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to saute these.
And there's two different kinds, so you can saute them, mix and match.
Oh
just
shit.
figure it out.
Well, they're not separated, so I
Nope,
guess
did
I'm
that
just
on
gonna
purpose.
dice roll for me. File this right here.
See how this pizza will
Put this
taste.
in my douche bag. Hold it for later. I like them fermented. All right, no more jokes like that, kids. I'm sorry. I did read at some point. Hi.
Hey,
How's it going?
man, New Year. By the way, 1 year anniversary.
For what? Of us
Gravy,
doing?
baby.
Oh my god! Oh, DJ's not here. DJ's not here. He's barreling down the hatches. What's the phrase? Batten down the hatch.
Batten down the hatches.
He's batting down the hatches. He's got a bad storm, so he's not able to get outside to join us. So I hope he's okay though.
Would our 1 year anniversary be our 53rd episode or our 52nd episode?
52nd.
Oh, you guys did it without me then, so we didn't miss DJ. We missed me.
Aw,
Oh,
we
it's
missed you.
fine. I missed you guys.
We talked about Epstein's list,
I
and we
figured.
talked about
Was Cat out yet?
nope.
Ooh, we could talk
So
about that.
we could talk about Cat if you want
Yeah,
to.
let's say that for the end. That
Okay.
way, if people who don't care about inside baseball want to turn it off.
That's fine.
There was other stuff I wanted to tell you. Now I'm blanking. Oh, I wanted to talk about the crimes that have happened to us. First of all, I learned literally 4 minutes ago that Carmen was involved in a drive-by. Apparently,
Y'all knew for months.
listeners, the way it went down is she was telling that story, and then I piped in with a baby.
And
it's
it
very
was nice
polite of
because
you.
it was very nice to have like a
Palate cleanse?
yeah, it's like a joyful thing. Me and TJ were talking
Yeah.
about the awful thing that happened to me, and then a baby.
Well, it was
Come on,
nice
that's
of you not, like, it was kind and what's the word? You're very giving. It was like,
considerate.
yes, maybe, but also as a performer, like, you're good at, like, oh, it's not my turn to talk, it's someone else's.
Mm.
But, like, I just want everyone to know I wasn't just like, yeah, fuck your story. I had no idea you were
Yeah.
involved in a drive-by. I know they've already heard it, but tell me the quick rundown.
Okay. Well, quick cliff notes. I'm in Seattle. I'm with
the cliff notes of my trauma. It was to go fast. All right, we got an hour to fill, but like, we
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff to get to.
I know, but these guys have already hosted. So just so you know, I was in Seattle. It was
Okay.
post shows. It was me and 3 other comedians in the car. We're all having a great time, high as shit, riff sesh. We just went to Dick's. We got a bag of cheap hamburgers at Dick's. We leave. I'm in like the northwest side of Seattle. I think it's called Greens. I don't want to call it something from North Carolina, but it's green something. And we pull up to stoplight, and perpendicular to us, a Nissan Altima is there parked, and then a champagne colored Tahoe pulls up and pulls into the turning lane next to it and just starts unloading a full clip at the Nissan Altima. Brat-tat-tat-tat, brat-tat-tat-tat. And we were like, what the fuck? At first it was, firework. And then I was like, oh, no, that person's shooting at that car. So we all duck in the car, and then they pull out to the middle of the intersection and just start shooting around because they saw us. So they started shooting around, I guess to scare us away. But then they drove off, brat-tat-tat in the air. So it was like, they were like shooting. They were just shooting for funsies, it seemed, after they had shot. And the guy didn't die. He came out and was like running in a peculiar way. I don't know if he got shot, but he was running in a very peculiar way as if he was. And but there was no.
You're so sweet. You're like, yeah, maybe he got shot. I don't want to be ableist. Maybe he had like a broke leg
maybe
already.
He did, yeah, maybe it was a thing. I mean, I don't know. And but there
he was
a
bleeding,
guess.
but I don't want to say it was from a gunshot.
Yeah,
wound.
it could have. He could have scratched an itch a little too hard. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Were you driving?
No, I was in the passenger seat.
Were you screaming, drive?
No.
My instinct, I think, would have been
to floor it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
think.
Because where we were, that's the way they went. So I think that would have been worse. They would have been behind us.
Are you okay? Did you have PTSD?
I was joking about it immediately.
So you're
True
not
comic
okay.
to form. Yeah,
Not okay.
no. Let's repress that down. Me and my buddy Billy Anderson, who I was doing the tour with. You know Billy. We were.
It's the stoner
Yeah,
tour?
yeah, it was the stoner car. We were so high. I think that's why I was able to fucking immediately start joking about it. Because
That
it
should
was
be his next show. You do a set, then you get shot at, and then you come back and do a set. For people who don't know, you do
oh my
one
God,
straight,
we
then
should
you
clip
do one
this
high.
and send it to him. But yeah, me and Billy were the first to start making fun. The two in the back were traumatized, silent, nothing to say. It just then after like an hour, it was like, oh my god, and I was still like, I was like, you think we could get him to come to the show? Like, I mean, I was immediately starting to make fun because
You comp the guy who got shot.
but the guys that did the shooting charge him double.
Double.
No free joint for
No.
you.
And you can't bring your gun unless you
No,
pay
no
triple.
gun. Yeah, not even then.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird to just
It
be.
was weird.
It was to just be idle
to be
sitting
shot at? Yeah.
Yeah, for no reason. I understand being shot at if you're involved in it, but when you got
You mean if you're involved in the live?
yeah, if I was,
Yeah, if you'd signed up for that.
yeah, well, not even just that, but if I was in. Usually there's no drive-by for no reason.
Right.
So if that was like somebody in the neighborhood that had already started some shit and this was going to be the end of it, or if this is somebody sending a mess, like you don't drive by for fun. You usually drive by with a purpose because why take the risk for no reward,
Mhm.
So but and that's why I never been shot at it on purpose because I always know how to handle my business. So
Yeah,
but
I
at the
too am
same
not in a
time,
gang.
yeah.
You worded that like some skill you have. It's kept you from getting shot at. Like,
I know, but I hung out with a lot of those people.
Oh,
That's what
back
I
in the
mean.
day you did?
Yeah. So yeah.
I've never hung out with any gang members.
No?
I mean, at work when I was a public defender, sure. That wasn't really
You guys
hanging
did that
out.
Hells Angels gig. That's a gang.
Oh, yeah. Fuck,
Remember?
dude. That was a nightmare.
I
I was so scared that some asshole comic I booked was going to get murdered.
Or get everybody else murdered. Well, that's the whole thing is like, and that was at the end of the day, I kind of was mad at the person in the Nissan Altima because they ultimately endangered our lives by either not paying who they were supposed to pay or not fucking or talking shit about somebody that they weren't supposed to. So at the end of the day,
You're victim blaming.
I feel like victim blaming is different when there's gang involved.
Perhaps. I mean, I definitely know what you mean in the sense of like if you do gang
Instigating
shit,
something. Yeah, you
then
re-instigate it.
But even if you didn't instigate it, I'm not going to say you deserve. Everyone who's got
No,
shot in
no,
a
no.
drive-by deserves it.
No,
But
I'm
everyone,
not.
but almost,
I was kidding.
but almost every target of a drive-by you know why. It's like, I'm not saying you deserve to get shot at because you're in the Bloods,
But
and
you
they're in the
understand
Crips,
why,
But you
yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
You knew it could
Either
happen.
you're in a place you're not supposed to. That's what I'm saying.
When
You're
they
either
jumped
placing-
you in, you knew it could happen.
Yes. Well, not only that, but just within the confines of like even no judgment if you're in a gang, but within the confines of that, there's our rules.
It's like somebody in the army. It's like, no, it's really sad, really horribly sad that guy got shot. But like, yeah,
You literally
happens.
signed a piece of paper saying, "I know I might get shot."
right.
Maybe that's what the gangs need. Maybe they need more. They need more
recruiters.
paperwork.
I think they have them. Get army recruiters, dude. There's gangs in
No,
the
I meant
army.
paperwork. You
Oh.
sign this waiver right here that says you know you might get shot.
Yeah, but if you don't, we'll give you $30,000 for the community college of your choice.
Oh, that would be actually a really rad gang.
The army is a pretty rad gang. It's like they do a lot of gang shit, a lot of crime,
That's
and then
true.
sometimes they bring water to a village.
That's nice.
Yeah, if the army was actually just a street gang, you know they've been infiltrated by both white supremacists and street gangs.
Yeah, but that's why it's not as cool of a gang anymore.
The army?
Once you start mixing the gangs up, it's not cool. It's like prison.
That
Boo.
sounds weirdly regressive. Ever since the
I am
Browns and
talking
the
out the side
whites
of my
got
mouth a lot this
together.
episode. I do apologize, everyone. I hope
No,
everyone
you don't have
knows
to
I'm
apologize
kidding.
for that because it's not what you meant, but it is. You were kind of saying like, ever since MS-13 started fucking with the white boys, prison sucks.
Yeah.
If your last name wasn't Morales, you could probably be in my brother's gang right now with that line of thinking. He's not in a gang, everybody.
Hey, listen, it's not just the whites sometimes that want them separate, you know?
In prison, dude, because whites are the minority in there, it's all the minorities who want them separate
Mm.
because they run shit. MS-13 runs prisons now.
That's okay. We're saying the same thing. I don't know why you're sounding like we're arguing.
Oh, I'm not. I'm excited.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper,
That's what it is. All those
Episode.
23 flavors are kicking in.
sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It is an authentic.
That's not true. They have not given us any money.
It's an authentic blend of 23 flavors.
But you have. So thank you for being a subscriber. If you aren't, please join the Patreon. Patreon.com/gravybabypod.
Yeah, I think all told, we made $12 this year. So please keep supporting us. And I'm not meaning to say, I appreciate the fact that we didn't lose thousands. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, we genuinely mean it.
The word authentic, doing a lot of work here.
Yeah.
An authentic blend of 23.
Okay, let's talk about your trauma. What happened to you?
Oh, it's not trauma because nothing happened to me. I saw it.
You saw
Crime. I said, let's talk about crime.
Crime. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We were talking about my trauma, but it wasn't,
I
nothing,
got a great bit out
nothing
of
bad
this one.
happened. Oh,
It's a fire 3 minutes. I got to figure out what to do with it. I was in San Francisco.
Mhm.
I drove up on a Thursday and I had a show that night. Went to the show. I drove straight to the show. It was like one of those where I got an hour at most to kill. So I just went there, had some beers, just to kind of like get the road off me. Had a pretty good set. And I'm driving back to the Booker's house. And he lives just north of the Tenderloin. And the Tenderloin's like the part of San Francisco where it's like, don't go to the Tenderloin.
Mhm.
Don't be there at night. And I'd asked him about parking, and he doesn't have a car. And he's like, I just find a garage. I went to 3 or 4 garages. They were all closed. I'm exhausted.
yeah.
Like I drove all day, drank 2 or 3 beers, did a set, 2 set, whatever.
See, that two set, like I'm usually so hyped on adrenaline.
My adrenaline wears off quickly.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
takes it lasts and then it crashes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm crashing while I'm trying to find parking.
Right.
So they're all closed, and I'm driving north away from his apartment and away from the Tenderloin as I'm looking. So the upshot of that is like I get to a point where both tired wise and in my brain, I'm like, this is good enough. I'm parking this fucking car here. This is a nice area. It'll be fine. That's my first rookie move because San Francisco, it's called bipping.
Mm-hmm.
The cops there are such little bitches about like protests and liberal San Francisco not supporting them
Mm-hmm.
that they no longer will enforce break-in laws.
Mhm.
If they literally see someone breaking into a car, they give them a ticket.
Oh wow.
So it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my first rookie move. Second rookie move, I did get stuff out of the car, but I should have just like fully swept it. But at this point, like I'm tired
Yeah, you're
to the point
tired,
of like
yeah.
borderline delirium. So went to my friend's house. I wake up at like 7 and I grab my phone and it's like from my bank. It's like, yo, did you spend $96 on grilled cheeses at 6 in the morning? And I'm like, I mean, I wish.
Yeah.
Like I wish that that's something I had done today, but no. So I'm like running things through my mind and I'm like, my car got broken into, but how'd they get my credit cards? And then I'm remembering OnlyFans gave me that fucking fanny pack and I hadn't used it at all. And then I was like, I'm a fanny pack guy now. I'm gonna be a bad guy. Literally that weekend, put all my extra cards, because I have this thin wallet, right?
Yeah. So you just keep your essentials.
ID and 2 cards can fit in this. So I'm like, all right, well, if I travel, I don't want it all in my backpack. I'm going to bring my fanny pack on the road. Forgot that I'd done that. So I'm getting these messages. And I go to my car or whatever. Windows broken into. I also realized Andy was coming that weekend, but she was flying up with Rozzy. I had left their stuff in the floorboards.
Oh no.
So now I'm just like pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to do the bit. I'm not going to do the bit, but like I am at this point now, literally sprinting through the streets of San Francisco in a wife beater. Furious because I can see on my Google Maps all the places my bank had alerted me to. So it's like, this is a direction they're going, and there's a community center that way. Where my friend told me this is like
where
the biggest
everybody
spot
goes.
where homeless people go. So I guess in my head, like, I'm going to see someone wearing Rozzy's diaper bag, and then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking sprinting. In a joke, I'm like, I was Republican for an hour and 7 minutes. And then, like, I get there, and dude, I just swung all the way back the other way. Because it's just like, I mean, it's fucking humanity. I mean, it is rough.
Yeah.
Addicts, some families. Again, I don't want to do the bit, but like, there's a line where I say something. Then I'm like, you know what? Turn my car back on for an hour. Let them eat it. Because that's the other thing. They bought $8 worth of liquor, and everything else was food.
Yeah.
And you could see it too. It was like $5 here, $8 here, $10 here, and then that big charge at the grill. Called the homies.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the whole thing. Because I've been
they
robbed.
also try to turn their cell phone on. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they're the essentials. Yeah, they're essentials. That was the whole thing. My when I got pickpocketed and they took my card and all my shit, it was like blooming, like it was an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? Or so it
Yeah,
was like it was something to really push off of. But when it's like
it was some
food
college
and when it was just like your basic needs,
Yeah.
it's hard to be, it's just like when my old economics professor, they went to Russia for the first time and they were like, it was such a destitute place. They got robbed and the person gave them back their wallet with all of their ID and stuff so they could still leave the country, but just took the cash because they were just so. They didn't like the way they were getting shoes was a bucket of shoes would get dumped off of a truck and then you would have to sift through and find 2 shoes that matched.
That's
So
crazy.
it's like, at that point it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm helping the greater good right now.
Yeah,
It's
so-
unfortunate that it has to happen in this fucking way. Or like after I'm done cussing about it happening, that's ultimately how I feel about it.
Yeah. So then I realized inside that fanny pack was all my credit cards, my passport.
Oh
which
no.
I had to deal with that. I had to like call all the credit card companies and be like, don't let anyone, or call the credit reporting
Yeah.
and be like, no one can, put a fraud alert on my thing and no one can open up a credit card in my name for the next 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then also my drugs. Involuntary donation, Mark says. That's exactly what I did. Actually, that's what the banks did. I got all my money back.
Oh, nice.
And this is the
That's
end
the
of-
beautiful thing about credit cards.
This
Credit
is-
cards are the demise of our country, but the one good thing
Yeah.
is they will give you the money back.
Debit card too. They gave it all back to me. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the merchant has to pay for it. I'm pretty sure what they do is they say, we're not going to send you that money. And they go, that's bullshit. And then they go, you didn't ID him. There's no way you did because it's not him. Ironically, they could have been IDing him and showed him the fucking
Yeah.
passport. But all my drugs, again, I'm not going to do the bit. This is the end of the bit, but it is truly so funny. And it is so perfect because this is the justice that I would want in my heart, because I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I don't want anyone to go to jail. But the drugs that I had was a DMT vape pen and a bag of ketamine. But that just looks like pot and cocaine. But what's so funny about that is pot and cocaine doses are much higher than DMT and ketamine doses.
Oh yeah.
So if you open that up and you're like, oh, pot and cocaine, and you hit it like it's pot and cocaine, but it's
Buddy.
DMT and
Buddy, it's one of those.
So-
Buddy.
so like that's the justice that I got, was that like some, I assume, guy went to fucking inner and outer space without wanting to.
Mhm.
Like just had, I hope, not like the worst trip ever, but just like a bad one.
Mhm.
Like I hope after stealing from me
What's
and
up with
busting
this
my
weed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, oh God, why is the ground 1,000 feet away?
then he's just like cuddling up with the diaper bag.
Got a coat of Andes that she can't replace. They don't make it anymore. She can't find it. Got a pair of her shoes that we did replace, but they were expensive. She was like, fuck my shoes. I was like, I'll buy you new shoes. She's like, okay. She sent me the link. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, I bought these on Marketplace. I can't believe I found them. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, ugh. So
Mm.
that was her Christmas present. Anyway, that's the out there also buying a new Versa.
Yeah, that's true.
But maybe. I hadn't thought of that. Fuck. But no, I think with the credit report thing, I'm pretty sure like my goal and what I read, and I paid money, my shit should be flagged for the next year. Only I should be able to do anything, and it should be kind of a headache for me to do it.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Oh, what I was saying though, the opener of the joke was I got robbed in San Francisco. No one tell my dad. I don't want him to know he was right about that place. So like, you know, other than like, I guess wrapping my head around it, I mean, I feel Andy got the worst of it because they stole some things that aren't replaceable,
Yeah.
and because it was a lot of Rosie's clothes that she like packed for San Francisco so he could look super cute for our friends.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah, bummer.
that sucks.
Yeah, hey, no one got shot at.
That's true. And I'm glad that Andy and the baby weren't there yet.
Me too.
Yeah. Because I feel like that would have just made things worse.
It definitely would have made it harder on me because there's like a weird, and this is strange and it's probably toxic, but it's true. There's a weird emasculation to it.
Getting robbed?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Of like,
I have high T. I fucking know how
Oh,
emasculating it is.
and it was like, oh, they've got my son's diaper bag.
Mhm.
Like that was the sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
If I see a motherfucker in my son's diaper bag, and I was like, what? What am I'm gonna beat up a 50-year-old heroin addict?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I might have.
Yeah. Luckily, you
I
didn't
wouldn't
find him.
I
at
don't
that
think I would
point.
have hurt him, but I might have hit him once.
Yeah.
Hurt him badly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway. I should have
that's
just done
just
the
pure-
bit because it's so unfunny if I don't make it funny. I was like, it's lame to do it as a joke, but I should have because now it's just like dark and sad.
Well, I mean, getting robbed is sad. That's why it's hard to make a getting robbed joke work. Because anybody who's been through it knows how much it sucks.
It's so fire. I did it that night and it worked.
Mhm.
And I've done it. It hasn't not worked since.
I imagine everybody there's been, especially car theft.
I
is,
know,
like,
but it worked
so
in
big.
Nashville too. But I think it worked in Nashville because I used my dad as a sounding board and they know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Anyway.
Shout out to the folks that went and saw him in Nashville. Everybody said they had a good time on the Discord. So that's nice.
Somebody tagged me in something and I couldn't figure out how to open it. I got to get back to that. I'm sorry, whoever that was. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm.
I got an email alert.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody such and such tagged you in this Discord thing and I couldn't figure out how to open it.
Hilarious.
Well, because I have another Discord.
Yeah, your smut Discord.
Yeah, I got a smut Discord.
Yeah.
And I keep those separate.
Yeah, you should.
I think that's
we
correct.
we don't want that Venn diagram crossing.
And I can't figure out though how to toggle between the two.
I mean, some of you would like that, but but no, I don't. Some people in the Discord would enjoy that, I'm certain, but no, thank you. Yeah, I'll show you, Papa, after we
Speaking
record
of
this.
Papa, how wide are those legs?
Well, you got your upskirt shot going. It's pretty. It's you giving you've definitely been on OnlyFans. I could tell. How's it been
My
going?
set
over there?
dropped,
Yeah.
and what a nightmare!
Really?
Because it's
After all that you said, how good it felt.
no. I mean, the OnlyFans is fine, but no, not the set. The set's fine.
Okay.
I think it's mostly bots. I think it's real OnlyFans models who have paid some company to like bot out. It's like this is their business model.
Mm-hmm.
So OnlyFans
Oh, yeah, me too.
TV
Mhm.
posted it on their page,
Yeah.
and I get all this influx of followers, but I don't think it's real. It's just people trying to get me to sign up for their OnlyFans.
Yes.
And it's clogged my inbox because I have some actual people I want to interact with on there. I had to send out a message yesterday to everyone saying, hey, I'm sorry, but messages are no longer free because it is the only way to unclog my inbox right now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to give me $1 if you want to message me. I know that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, that's also cheap.
Yeah. Well, it sucks if you're in a convo with somebody
Mm.
because it's like you should be able to be like, hey, give me $5 and we can talk for the next 10 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been great. What a great company.
Onlyfans.com/ Drew Moore Comedy. Make sure you guys subscribe there.
I went over on my time and they cut a joke. Well, first they tried to chop up my set and they sent it to me and I go, Jesus Christ. I said, just cut this whole joke. But I'm glad because that joke is so much better now.
Yeah.
I got a new version of it. So I was actually,
good.
It's coming up, Drew, man. I think I'm an OnlyFans guy.
Nice.
It was a bit at first,
Yeah.
like wearing the swag in here and all
yeah.
that. I think I am. I think I'm an OnlyFans guy. I'm sure they're evil.
Yeah.
Well, some people paint them as like, you know, they're pro sex worker. They were one of the few platforms that didn't. But then other people are like, it's kind of nefarious, actually.
Which part?
Well, they're not really pro sex worker. They just are more pro sex worker than Instagram, for example. You know, they still dictate certain. I don't know. I don't get into it. There's too many politics for me to get involved in for me to know the nuances of OnlyFans' relationship to the sex worker industry currently. Right now, it's fuck Israel as a government and America as a government, and that's all I got room for in my heart.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a record label and a crew.
Do you have anything that you're gravy about?
Man, I did have. I was thinking about it on the way over here, and it's left me.
Damn.
It's hard for me not to just talk about the baby in my heart. You know what I mean? Like on here, I can talk about whatever, but it's like, man, what's going good in my life? He laughs, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like really cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I got that going for
I mean,
me.
yeah, we've talked about that, about bottling that sound. Like we wouldn't be a profession if you could get that kind of wonderful sound just on deck.
That's true. I don't even want to do comedy right now. That's why. That felt pretty good.
He got a great laugh,
He
man.
does. It's so
It's
his whole
better than
face.
300 fucking goofy ass strangers. That little baby. Oof.
All right, I got a few things
Okay.
from the trip home. One is just watching everybody love on him, but then there's a flip side of this, and other parents can identify with this. I'm sure. My dad respects me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my dad respected me before, and now that I feel what actual respect for my father feels like, it's like, oh, you didn't respect me till I had a kid,
Wow.
which is so weird.
That is weird.
Not fully.
Yeah.
It didn't fully respect. It's like you're speaking to me differently. What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a dad now, so I get it. I don't.
Mm-mm.
I still don't get it.
We still don't agree on most things, but
Both he and my in-laws bought me overalls, like work overalls.
Oh wow.
And I mean, I dig overalls, but I'm like, I was trying to come up with a joke.
Is that some sort of symbol of respect, overalls?
Well, that's, I think, like the only thing I can think of, and I feel lame even doing it, but it is funny to me, is like I think kind of know what it's like No, I don't know what it's like, but this is very similar, I think, to being a trans woman, where it's like, I'm just not going to be the man you thought I was, guys, to my family. Because like, this is just not who I am. Stop trying to make me be who you thought I was going to be when I was 8.
Yeah. Quit
Don't do
pushing the
that.
Dale on my license, motherfucker. That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But it was great watching everybody play with him, watching everybody love on him. It was the first time that when I got back here or anywhere, like leaving for the holidays, that when I got home, I was sad. First time ever. Usually when
Aw.
I like get back to New York or LA or wherever I'm living, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that's how I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
that's
feel
good.
it for the first time.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Kids will do that. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That
I
you
think
like your
so.
kid. That's a good thing.
Oh, it's definitely a good thing that I like my kid. I'm not sure if it's a good thing that I'm in like missing my hometown.
I don't know if it's that or if it's just the fact that you got to bring the baby home. And yeah, I think it was more that.
Right. But
What are you going to
that still exists, you know?
Sure. What are you pining to go back?
No.
But that's the difference.
Yeah.
You can be, it's good to miss things.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you got to go back.
Nope.
I miss my mom. Don't mean I got to go back.
Yeah, I miss meth, but I don't have to go back.
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
My family's like meth.
Yeah.
They're bad for me.
It's so good when you do it though.
Just kidding. My family's not like meth. I've never enjoyed meth. I've only done it a few times accidentally. It's awful. I wish I understood what people got out of pure uppers.
I think if you did do enough of it, it's supposed to open your third eye. I don't know. I haven't done enough to do it, but that's just what I was from what I
Open-
understand.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Is that real? Is
I
that
don't-
what people say?
there's like a part of your brain it activates.
And it's close to the pituitary gland?
I think so.
I know about the third eye
pituitary's
and
in the
all
back,
that.
but
Oh,
yeah,
I thought that was that one.
no.
Well, I know about the third eye and I know about drugs and DMT, supposedly, you know, and all that stuff. But
Mm.
like, I've never heard meth be put in that category. I think to me, it's so funny to even say that because the people I roll with, Andy's friends who talk
Mhm.
about the third eye, it's like this very deep, intuitive, spiritual experience. And if you ever hung out with people on meth,
Right.
they're just fucking grinding their teeth.
But it's
talking about like,
it's
I fucking hate walls.
it's apparently amidst all that paranoia. Like it activates the same part of your brain. I don't listen. I'm not saying to
I know
chase
you're not
it.
advocating this,
I'm
but
not,
I just
by
don't
any
buy it
means.
at all. It's because like even in the world, it's already suspect. You know what I mean? People floating around on mushrooms, like activate your third eye and get in touch with your inner child. But it's like, well, I've done mushrooms. I've felt pure love for everything that exists, so I can see how you would think that. I've only ever done meth accidentally.
I think you just didn't do enough.
That cannot. It's like it's got to be a rebound if that's the case. It's just, I mean, that is what people
I
on
think
meth
you were
say.
just
We just need to do more.
I think you were just microdosing meth and you need to take like a full trip.
Yeah. I've been up for 36 hours.
You're
I scratched
close, dude.
all the skin
You're
off my
so
kneecap.
Close, dude.
Is the third eye right there? There's a fucking bug on me.
Yeah,
Dude, people on meth are so paranoid.
I know.
I won't say who, but people we know together very well. I've had some of the craziest conversations of my life with them where for 20 minutes I didn't know they were on meth for 3 straight days. And I was like, I have to call somebody, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm worried about
The
you.
shit you were saying is what schizophrenics say.
Yeah.
And it was just meth.
Yeah.
That's how it opens up your third eye. The voices are real. The rest of us are blocking them out. That's what schizophrenics say too.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying, and we're crazy.
Yes. There you go.
It's a real red or
I
blue
think I
pill.
might have actually got that information from a schizophrenic now that I think about this. A lot of schizophrenics I know did meth and really liked it. And I think that's why. I think it goes together.
Listen, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not true. But the schizophrenic I know said it opens up your third eye if you just do more.
You got to do enough.
That is, and I can't believe, like, because there's a lot on this list. That is the most Florida thing you've ever said in your life. You went to high school with Casey Anthony, and that's Florida.
I always forget about that. I do.
That's number 2 now.
shit. Okay, well then what's it not if not the baby, what else is gravy?
What else is gravy?
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly the baby, and it's not just because my life's still good, but like, it's tough. Not a lot of sleep going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of.
I think that's par for the course.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's all.
You know what would
normal.
help with that? Meth. That's it. New parents, get on the amphetamines.
Remember the Bible where it's like, you'll deny me 3 times before the sun comes up? You're gonna tempt me with meth a 3rd time before the end of this podcast, and like Judas,
I'm not saying the whole. I'm not saying the whole, but just the period of time where your kid doesn't sleep. You should not sleep with the kid, right?
So what's the best way to take meth?
I don't know.
Is Adderall just meth?
Yeah.
I hate Adderall, but you're saying I didn't take enough.
I don't know how much you took. Okay. I feel like we should pivot. Let's talk about Cat.
Speaking of meth,
He never had a drug charge for methamphetamines for uppers.
He never did a hard drug.
I know. I
hear him
looked
tell
it.
it.
I looked it up.
Yeah,
All
it
of
was
the
always gun
police-
charges.
It was always either damage to property or possession of a weapon.
I was fixing to say, wasn't there one DV that got dismissed? Am I wrong about that? I don't want to cast.
Oh, I
aspersions if it's not
don't
true.
remember seeing that. But I
Good.
could be
I
wrong. I
hope
could
it
be wrong.
wasn't.
Okay. I could be wrong. I don't know.
If you don't know what we're talking about, and honestly, we were talking about this on Well Read a little bit. I think everybody knows. It's like, I think it's the most watched podcast episode now on YouTube in history.
Well, yeah.
And he did that in a week.
Yeah.
So Cat Williams is a comedian. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the best of all time.
He truly
it's
is.
hands down. I have always said it's like him and Burr have always been the best of whatever that generation is. Like me coming up to me. To me, they've always been Pryor
Mm-hmm. This is
and
how
Carlin.
good Cat Williams is. Cat Williams will tell you he's the greatest, and you'll go, "All right."
Yeah.
That's how, like, when somebody with pure, like, when you have pure ego talking to you, and you're not infuriated by it
Because you've seen it.
because you've seen it. You've seen it.
Well, here's how good Cat Williams is. Dave Chappelle, obviously, he's a lightning rod at this point, and it seems like he stopped doing actual comedy specials and started doing one-man shows.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a Trump joke post-election that was fire. Everyone was talking about it on
Mhm.
one of those specials. It's one of the reasons that one of those specials is also part of why people say Dave's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. And then like 3 weeks later, Cat's special came out, and his Trump joke was, I'm not kidding, 4 times as good.
Yeah.
It was like, you can't imagine a Trump joke better, and then boom, here it is.
And then here is a blatant, like,
White
such
people,
a better
we
joke.
didn't know you could keep a secret. Standing in line. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's the best. He is not an industry darling.
By any means. He's against all of it.
The industry line is that he is difficult to deal with because he has some ego issues and or mental health issues. Some of that's documented. It seems to at least be partially true.
Mhm.
But then you look at somebody like Christian Bale who yelled at that guy on set. It's like, well, you guys make exceptions sometimes.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, he was incredible. I
Yep.
think he won whatever the Oscar for television is.
Emmy. He won an Emmy for
Yeah.
it.
Gator, was that his name? The character?
I think so. I'm so bad with the names. But yeah.
So I'm just saying all this if people don't understand.
Just to
who
give
or
you some
what Cat is.
context,
He
yeah.
is a guy who is so incredible at what he does, which is stand-up comedy and acting. He's great at both of those, comedic acting and dramatic. But he's not known like Kevin Hart is.
Right. He's not as, he might be as rich as, but he's not as famous as.
Yes, and he does have.
And he's got a lot of like, there's a lot of point of pride for him having worked for everything, like not being part of a crew, so to speak, or an entourage or anything like that. Is that a lot of times there's like a group, you've seen it with Judd Apatow, where Judd Apatow is like, these are my 5 guys.
Oh, I
And
was hoping Trey would be Southern Judd Apatow.
With
With no shame, I would not be on this couch.
Right.
Sorry, Mark.
I get it. But that's the whole thing, is that there wasn't a person that like brought, like,
Well,
with the exception
And according
of
to him, people tried, and he turned them down.
Mhm.
Like when Bernie left Kings of Comedy, that's one of the things he said. They tried
Mhm.
to get me to replace him.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do it, he said, because they were shit talking Bernie.
Yeah.
Which, that may be true. It's also like really easy, of course, to do revisionist history.
Yes.
Like if you got to deal with somebody and it don't work out, and then you can later be like, well, the reason I didn't is because I have integrity.
Yeah. But he's also done other things to prove that integrity matters to him.
I
feel
wonder
like.
if everyone's listening is like, yeah, we know who Cat Williams is. Please, can we move on to the interview?
Yeah. Anyways, Shay Shay is a former NFL player, Hall of Famer that has a show where he has all kinds of usually very incredibly famous people on
It's a podcast.
to have a conversation with. Yeah.
And it's pretty popular. And Shay Shay's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Except for in this interview,
I think he was great.
he did not have control of this interview at all.
I agree with you, and I still think he did a great job.
Cat.
Oh, come on, Cat.
Come on, cat. Oh,
Come on.
Come on, cat.
So what Cat Williams
Let
did?
Big Perm breathe, cat. Let Big Perm breathe.
What-
And then of course Cat articulately it was just like your allegiance to losers is something that is not becoming of you. I don't even know. I can't even
he
read
said,
it.
he said something to the effect
Oh, my
of, I am
God.
surprised that you have aligned yourself with such losers.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's talk about better.
What are
It
you
was better
saying
than
to that?
any comedy special I've watched in the last fucking 5 years.
And on that note, there's going to be copycats. Like
Yeah.
there is with every time a comedian does something new or big.
rad, yeah.
So it's coming and it's going to be awful hearing everyone gossip all of a sudden. But if you don't know what happened, what Cat did was essentially put all of black comedy as far as Hollywood goes on blast.
Mm.
And then some of white comedy in terms of the Rogan verse.
Oh yeah.
He started spilling secrets.
Mm-hmm.
He started saying some really wild homophobic shit, accusing basically all of them of sucking dick to get to the top. And I don't mean in a figurative way.
Yeah, no.
This man was like, Ludacris, by name. Ludacris? Yeah, you know they gave him $10 million a year for those.
Yeah. It was
Fast
like
and the
you
Furious
get, you
movies?
get 20 films, $10, $200 million. But then it was like they all have to have an ugly, light-skinned wife with a weird face.
Who don't do interviews.
And then who don't do interviews. And then, dude, afterwards, somebody went and posted pictures of every single person's wife.
It was so
back to-
funny, right?
And it was, woo!
He also said they had to let Puff Daddy fuck him in the butt, which
Yeah.
is so funny to me because as far as I know, Puff Daddy's not even a producer of the Fast and the Furious films. He may be, but it's like a wild thing of like,
Oh, no. But I think he's just talking in general because it's like Diddy always wants to party and you have to tell him no.
Yeah.
But I think it's just also like it's just.
And it was this weird balance of saying stuff that is, if not provable, you can find evidence of. Like he accused Cedric the Entertainer of stealing a joke. The jokes are very similar. At the end, there's an act out that's almost identical. A lot of people have pointed out that's an old Chitlin Circuit act
Mhm.
out that a lot of people were doing. Other people, but that's not the point. The point is, some of what he was saying was, if not true, like true to him. Like, I don't know if Ced stole that joke, but you can see why he thinks that. And then
Yeah.
he said other wild shit like, I'm 92-6 in one-on-one basketball against 20-year-olds. Which is the wildest, most
Yeah.
specific stat I've ever heard.
I feel
in my-
like he's just playing basketball with his son, and that's what he's talking about.
He also said he ran the 40-yard dash in like a 4.3.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
not possible at his age.
Yeah.
So some of it had to be lies.
Right.
And then he also said Harvey Weinstein offered to suck his penis.
hmm
No one's ever accused Harvey Weinstein of doing anything gay. It was always, it was wild.
Yeah.
Ether. I loved every minute of it. Riveting.
Yeah. Well, that's what my whole thing was whether he was correct or not and everything. Well, that was also the whole thing because then afterwards, people started chiming in. Like Ice Cube came out and was like he was right on most of the things, but he was like, I would never put a rape scene in a movie like Friday.
Yeah, but a lot of people have said that's not true. He absolutely did. And a lot of people pointed out Ice Cube has another rape scene that's implied in another one of his movies. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, he said there was one implied, but definitely he said one not shown.
Yeah.
He would never show, especially in a movie
Right.
like Friday, he would never show it.
Well, the story with that is this other comedian, Ricky Smiley, said that he was supposed to be Money Mike, which was Cat's role in Friday After Next, and they cut him out and flipped the roles. And what apparently happened was he read for the part. I can see why Kat's mad.
Yeah.
You auditioned and then you're telling people that I took your role.
Yeah.
I beat you.
Yeah.
And you're acting like it was weird, nefarious Hollywood bullshit. I can see why that made him mad.
Absolutely. He's 5'5". Yeah. He's going to be mad about any kind of thing like that.
Oh, that's a good point.
He's a genuine short king. I mean, think about it.
He's such a genius that I didn't even like apply the Napoleon complex to him, but he does have it.
It is,
Even though
for
he's
sure.
the best,
That's
he's
why I
still
lo-
got a chip.
Yeah, because he's been literally overlooked, literally and figuratively overlooked. So that's the thing is I took it with that is like a lot of this is pure emotion.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is fact checking people that marginalized you that are supposed to be your peers and your homies and all that shit. Like people that are the same, we for the culture, all that shit. So it's like it's infuriating.
Well, especially when they're
It's the same kind of thing. Like I'm gonna do a Cat Williams thing right now. It's the same kind of thing when I was coming up in stand up and I opened for Nikki Glazer and she was like, "You're amazing. You should come on the road with me." Blah blah blah. We're so different and you're so funny. Blah blah blah. And it was one of those things like she hyped me up so much just to be like to never. Oh, I'm going to bring my boyfriend. He's like a white rapper. I'm going to bring him on the road with me. Like it was always like some excuse. So it was just one of those things where I was like, because she paraded so much about how women need support to support each other in the green room, hyping me up about this thing. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe, okay. Because anytime anybody had done that, they came through. And then
now
she
she
did.
only tours with men.
It was, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I do. And Nikki, I didn't say that. She did. So, like, if you need another man to open up for you, I got some jokes about my pussy, too. No, you're right.
But it was that was just an instance, and that very much happened. And it was like, and I'm certain she remembers it differently, where it was like, oh, it was circa whatever the case is. But was I mad about it? Did I have feelings about it? Absolutely, because you were the one that was like, bitches need to help bitches, and then the minute you had the opportunity to help someone, it was a dude.
Right.
So,
and it's like you're in your head, you're like, I know you didn't owe me that personally, but if you're going to be out here espousing this, you owe it to someone.
to some woman.
And you're saying Kat has a similar feeling of, because this is what they're already hitting him with it. Don't tear black men down, build black men up. And he's like, y'all tore me down.
Yeah.
You stole my jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing too. The part I loved was he called out Steve Harvey, who I've always thought was a bad person. You can just feel it. As a Southern man who's been around Christians my whole life, there are two types of Christians. 90% of them are like, well, 50% of them are quiet and you don't want to talk to them and they're boring. But and that other 50%, 90% of them are like Steve Harvey. They're always got this pithy thing to say about God, and it sort of makes sense if you read on an 8th grade level and you don't think about it too much.
Yeah,
but
they
underneath
speak in
it
like
is nothing.
phrases and bumper stickers.
Yes.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the other 10% tolerate people like him. I guess because they're like, well, I don't want to judge or whatever. But he's full of shit.
Yeah.
But it's like there was nothing.
When he brought
specific.
up the herpes, and he said my wife is the reason that I am where I am, and he's like, you said that about the first wife. Oh my God, there's just so many
he stole
beautiful
so much from Mark
things
Curry,
like that.
and I loved Mark Curry growing up.
Oh, me too,
dude. Mark Curry and Martin were the first black people I met. Mm-hmm. Like Martin's TV show and Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That was like, and Living Single.
It was Martin and Living Single for me. Yeah. Mr. Cooper was third for me. Yeah.
And so. And then Steve Harvey show comes on, and I love Sed.
In Living Color, obviously.
And I loved Sed on that show. But I remember back then being like, I didn't think like a comic. I was just like a kid, but I remember kind of being like, oh, this is a thing they do, I guess. Mm-hmm. They let black people have a show where you're a principal. And no, Steve Harvey just stole his goddamn show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad Kat said something.
That's the other thing too. Him and those fucking chiclet teeth. I can't stand it. And so
and as Kat pointed out, that whole like fake country bumpkin thing.
Yeah,
he's good at it. It is funny sometimes. Yeah, but it's like, all right.
It's just he's getting paid for facial expressions. They said what on Family Feud? What?
And pretended to be dumb.
What?
Yeah,
dumbfounded.
Yeah, it's like the Christian heckler video. It's the Christian equivalent of a heckler video. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm glad Kat said something about all of that because it was wildly entertaining, and I think he's the only one who could have done it.
What he said for the and this is probably too wild to say out loud, but I don't care. What he said about Kanye is how I've always felt about Kanye.
Oh, remind me. That got lost in my brain, I guess.
What he said about when he was like, what do you think about Kanye's, rants and all of this? And he was like,
oh, yeah.
He is a mentally ill person. He has told us that this whole time. He's always been weird. Why are you asking him questions about things that he doesn't? You also put in his head that he was a genius.
Yep.
So now he thinks he's a god. Like you built him up. Again, it goes back to like, don't tell me something that's not true if you're just going to not believe, like if it's not true, because then you're going to hype someone up into thinking something, and then they're going to act like a lunatic because who's going to handle that pressure? If you start thinking that if you genuinely start thinking that you're Jesus Christ, some weird shit's going to come out of your fucking mouth, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to think it's poignant and brilliant because it's a weird ass fucking connection that you made that is not a regular connection that two people make.
Okay, I got two responses to that I really want to get out. One is I just thought of this Young Comics joke. He did a Don't Tell, and I can't remember his name. I didn't know him, so the name's not. But it's so funny. It's about Kyrie, and he's like, I stopped being mad about Kyrie over what he said about the Jews. I think the comic, well, he may not have been Jewish. Anyway, because I realized he told us a year ago he was a flat earther.
Yeah.
Why'd y'all ask him what he thought about the Jews?
Yeah.
What did you think? He was like, oh, that's so funny.
Well, that's what Kat said. He was just like, well, why didn't he make any goals playing hockey? He's not a hockey player. Why are you asking him about this?
I remember that. And the other thing I want to say is what is so brilliant about Kat, the reason I think he is the best of our time, what he does so well, and you just touched on it, is communicate that feeling that many of us have in general in the pits of our stomach that we kind of often try to ignore, that all this is bullshit. Because if we just start talking about how all this is bullshit, we won't have any friends and we won't be fun to be around. And
you'll be a flat earther.
Right. And Kat is so good at expressing that sort of like almost gut-id feeling of like, all this is bullshit. It reminds me of that great joke he has about the Iraq War, how they tricked black people by saying, we killed 1,500 insurgents this morning, not telling us them was women and children. You can't tell black people some shit like that. Killed insurgents. We at home smoking. I don't even know no goddamn insurgents. You could kill all them motherfuckers. And the whole joke was about how you tricked us into being okay with this war.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit that you made me complicit in your fucking crime.
Yeah.
But he expressed it hilariously.
Yeah.
That's what he's so good at.
But that's what I'm saying. And like the guys that he's bitching about, we're never going to be those guys. Like that's the only thing where there's plenty of things I disagree with that Kat said. But one of the things is not all of them are going to be able to think like you. Like some people are entertainers and some people are thinkers and some people are comedians in the sense that they're trying to figure out this world to navigate through it.
Well, it's
and
an
to
artist
be able to,
versus an entertainer.
Yes. And I feel like there's room for both of those, but I also understand why an entertainer would not want a person like that around.
But I also understand why an artist would be fucking furious when an entertainer took their shit and made it more palatable for the masses, because it's like, you can't do what I do, so you took what I do and you put your little entertainment song and dance on it, and that's fucking bullshit.
Yes.
I get that
Yes.
in my core.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
as a person who's had a hack steal a joke of hers and then make it less funny, yeah, of course.
Have you ever had a hack steal a joke of yours, make it less funny, but do better with it?
It did well. I mean, it did well with me, but it did well. Sure. But it did, I don't know that it did better. I didn't, it's not like I worked with him that many times.
Like it's a funnier joke. I mean like accolades, or they did it on a bigger platform.
No, he's dying on the road, so I don't care. But
well, I've had it happen I've had people go viral with my shit.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's infuriating.
It's infuriating. So that's like the part of me that was like, fuck yeah, eat through these motherfuckers. Because you're big enough to withstand the backlash.
Yeah.
You're too good and you're too popular. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the last part I will say is that I do think that what he did do, though, is create a divide within like people who likes who. It's going to have to be a who likes who. And I think
he revealed a divide. I don't think he created it.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because now people are picking sides more than there ever was, and it's not. And what's so funny is like the thing he's doing is what he was complaining about where our country's at, as far as like there was never supposed to be two parties. There was always supposed to be a third. It was supposed to be as, you know, the whole thing. And he's like, it's not supposed to be like this. But this kind of.
But you can't put that on him.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not his, it's his fault because that's going to be the result of it. This is the catalyst of it, but it is an event that will create that or worsen
Potentially.
it. Yeah.
Or it could be an event that creates a situation where the idea of the team goes away to a certain extent, where you don't have to pretend that Steve Harvey's a good guy because that's not a requirement to be in your goddamn industry.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you're probably right, because let's be cynical. It's going to do the thing you're talking about.
Mm.
But hopefully it's a scenario where, like, yeah, we don't have to pretend that this entertainer is also a great person.
Yeah.
Because they're not.
Right.
We're not.
Right.
She's not.
I try to be, though. Isn't that the point of this podcast? Toxic people trying to be,
Yes.
positive.
Positive
Mhm.
toxicity.
Mhm.
What a great way to wrap it up. What was your favorite thing he said? And what was the wildest thing he said in terms of your just what? Go ahead.
I mean, the wild thing was the whole thing about the Ludacris.
Getting fucked by P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
TD Jakes, too, who's a very popular black pastor, everybody.
But my favorite thing, I think that he said, yeah, I mean, there's so many favorites. There were so many gems. Do you have a favorite?
I think my favorite.
I mean, I might have said all of them already.
Yeah. I think my favorite that you didn't say, well, I'll start there, is definitely what he said about Rogan and the Rogan verse.
Yeah. They would never have me on Rogan. And you ain't going to convince me that those 5 people that he keeps pushing are funny.
Yeah.
I know they're not.
Yeah. Well, and related to that, I like Sed a lot when I watch him. But when
I think he's a better comedic actor than a comedian.
Sure, I agree with that. But when he said, "Are you saying Cedric's not funny?" Shay say, and he goes, "I'm not saying it. America has said it."
Yeah.
I was like, "What a fucking dig, dude!" He got 3 specials. Ain't none of them on Netflix
Oh my
or
god! When he went in on Faison. Oh my god! Why he got to take a shirt off in every script? They wrote it in every script. You got to take your shirt off. Wow.
And then the most, like, other than what P. Diddy was butt fucking TD Jakes, which, what a timeline.
Yeah.
I think it was that he ran the 40 in a 4.1.
Yeah.
I think that was like there. I was like,
I am a
4.4?
specimen.
Oh, he said a 4.4. Okay.
Yeah.
That's still wild. Like that he still could do it. And then he listed his stats against 20-year-olds in basketball. That to me was like when I was like, man.
That was the
this
Napoleon
is
complex to me.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that's the other thing too, is like people like to write him off as crazy, but then you go back and you look and like Cat's on drug. Cat's not on drugs. Cat's on, it's like people have been writing him off as crazy and for a long time.
And also, you don't have to be correct morally or even logically to be a good comedian.
Mm-mm.
But he's only ever been wrong one time that I know of across all those specials. Every wild take he has. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein. He had a Harvey Weinstein line before anybody was talking about it. The only time he's ever been wrong is he did a joke about evolution that was just fucking stupid early on. Other than that, again, not required to be a great comedian, but he's never been wrong that I can think of. All his hot takes have turned out to be
He's
correct.
like The Simpsons. He's the comedic form of The Simpsons.
You know what's wild about that? When he got beat up by a kid,
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's why he's got the Napoleon complex, because he don't want people to know he got beat up by a kid.
I mean, there's video of it. Everybody saw it.
So I saw a clip of him doing the act out
Mm-hmm.
and then said, and then a black cartoon of a comic on The Simpsons doing that act out in like 1994 before all of them had done it. It's so wild that you said that about The Simpsons, because that's the thing, and people don't know there's like this thing on the internet that The Simpsons predicts everything.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? I'll show it to you when we get done.
Yeah, I want to see it. Guys, whew, thanks so much for listening. It's good to have you back, buddy.
It's good to be back, baby. I fucking hate LA. I'm moving to Atlanta.
I mean,
I'm going to do it.
it's a great city to be in, especially if you want to start acting.
Yeah.
It's popping right now for film. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, share our little clippies, please. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/gravybabypod. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. Very spicy episode today.
Was it a spicy episode?
Spicy. Well, we started out with douche and we ended with P. Diddy fucking people in the butt. So I think so.
I took too much of your Christmas present and I don't remember what we talked about.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I put him in my pocket, God's pocket. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,